Today on Rubber Duck Off-Road Garage, we are going to be installing a Sunbonnet on a Jeep Gladiator. It's a Mopar. I will put the part number and the place where I got it in the description below. The tools required for this job are going to be your Jeep toolkit that comes with your Jeep for taking the top off, the doors off, and putting the windshield down. You're also going to need a Torx 25 and a Phillips head screwdriver. So, first step that you're going to have to do is take the bolts out for your windshield. So the first step on removing the bolts for your windshield is locating them all. So the locations are, there's one here, there's one over here, there's another one here, and at the other end. So to get the first one, you put your visor down like that. I've already loosened mine, so you just turn it on out. And there's one. And the second one, you have to remove the visor out of the way to get to it. And it's right here. So go ahead and take the 4 of those bolts out, and then we'll move on to the next step. So once you have all the bolts for your windshield removed, it is now time to put the windshield forward. You don't want to go too far forward because your windshield wipers are still on there. If you want to fold it all the way down, you have to take your windshield wipers off. That'll be a different video there. So what I did is I took my wallet and I just stuck it in between the windshield frame and the roll cage bar. So this is how I did it. Just my wallet, the windshield frame, and then the roll cage bar. That way I don't put too much pressure on my windshield wipers. To remove your windshield wipers, you have to take this cap off, and then you can take the bolt out and pull them off if you want. But I didn't want to take my windshield all the way off. So the next step now is to put the front part of the Sunbonnet on, which is this. It has a zipper on it, so you can leave this installed and still take your Sunbonnet on and put your soft top on, your hard top, whatever you have, and leave your windshield bolted down. You don't have to keep unbolting your windshield to put this on every time. So this just clips on. There's these little clips here that just slide on like a soft top does on the back. And then you take your Sunbonnet and you go ahead and you throw it up on the roof, and then you get it all lined up. Once you have the Sunbonnet up on top, go ahead and fold it forward towards the front or let it fall down into the cab, and then climb up onto the side here so you can see the top of your Jeep. And you're going to have to install these 2 pieces of, it's like a part of Velcro on the top of the roll cage. They're sticky on one side. You just line it up with this edge right here, and then try to keep a little bit of a gap right there and run it out on both sides. And then you can see how it looks after it's been zipped. Now the next step will be taking these little screws right here out. So that's where you're going to take your Torx 25. You're going to take this screw out here. And you're going to replace it with one of these. It's a Phillips head, and it has the snap on it. So that goes up in there, and then you screw that up in. You're going to do that on all these little spots here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same on the other side. So go ahead and take all of those screws out and put the snaps in. Once you're done getting all those snaps put on, it is now time to align your Sunbonnet and then start snapping it down. So where I start is I start right here at the front doing these snaps. So I'll do this one. And then I'll do the next snap here. And I do the front first, so I'll go around to the other side and I'll just focus on doing the front snaps first. So now I'll go to the other side and do the 2 on the other side. like that. So you also have this strap here which goes around and hooks. It's kind of tough because you have to pull really tight. If you want, you can always let this thing sit in the sun a little bit, so hopefully it'll get a little malleable. So then there's these snaps back here, which I'll wait because I'm going to do this little strap here which goes around your A-pillar. So let's go back to the other side and do that one first. So I'm going to run this around here and hook to this side. Okay, so next it's time to do the back snaps. So these snaps all go, you have 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, and it'll be the same on the other side. Next up is the 2 straps inside. It might be a little difficult to see here, but you have this strap here, and then there's another one right behind me here. So these just go around your speaker pod and hook to the clip back here, and then you pull them tight. But you also got to make sure that these little clips here for your hard top go in the pockets that are on the Sunbonnet. They slip right in and over, just to help keep it from flapping too much during the breeze. Okay, so I got those 2 straps done. 1, 2, and they're tucked up out of the way. Last but not least is these little straps right here, which come around and they clip right in here. Now these are a bit tough because you got to pull really hard and stretch this thing really good, but it can be done. Here's a little light on the situation. So this clip right here hooks right there. Same on the other side. But the bonnet is really taut at that point, so it's a little bit to pull on that. I mean, a good way to do it might be to let the top sit out in the sun, like I said, so it gets a little soft. Makes it a little bit easier to manipulate because you can see how tight it is right there. And now you can see up here where the holes are for your bolts, how the bonnet's cut to fit. So last step is remove your thing holding your windshield up and put your windshield back down and go ahead and put all your bolts back in. So here it is. This is what your bonnet will look like when it's all done and installed. Nice and smooth, all finished and wrapped, snapped up, all tight, windshield's back in and tightened up, and there you go. So the reason I went with the Mopar Sunbonnet is because after doing a bunch of research on different types of safari tops that you can get for the Jeep Gladiator, there's really not that many to choose from. And a lot of the other ones that there are out there, they use straps and some kind of rail to hold it on to the windshield frame and the rest of the Jeep. Well, my TJ was that way, my JK I have is that way, and I don't like the extra straps because you never know what to do with all the extra strap that's hanging around. You have to kind of tie it in a knot or tuck it up somewhere to keep it from hitting you when you're driving down the road or snapping along the side as you're driving down the road. It's kind of annoying. So when I found the Sunbonnet from Mopar, I saw that it used snaps. And the snaps are really nice because you don't have any of those straps. And the way it connects to the windshield, you basically fold your windshield forward, it snaps onto that, and then you put your windshield back, bolt it back down, and you don't have to take your windshield up or take that off ever again because it just unzips and you can pull the back half off, put your soft top on, your hard top on, and whatever, and it's just right there out of the way. It's really nice. And it was cheaper than buying one from Quadratech or some of the other 4x4 shops, which is impressive because normally dealership stuff is never cheap. So on that fact, I will leave the part number in the description along with a link to the place where I buy a lot of Mopar parts from because they seem to be pretty reasonable for the most part. So if you like the video, please give me a like and subscribe. Thanks.